Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back to watch another video. It's so good to have you here with me again today. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be bringing you season 3 episode number 2 of my Instagram live series Tea Money Talks. On today's episode, I was joined by an amazing, incredible, inspirational woman. Her name is Natalie, and she is the founder of The Lone Parent. We had a conversation all about her story and her journey to overcoming financial abuse. So it was a really sensitive topic that we discussed in today's video. But I hope that if you do find yourself in a similar position that Natalie found herself in, that you too will be able to get out of that situation and transform your life in the same way that she was also able to do. Today's episode is a really, really good one. It is really, really insightful conversation, and I'm sure you're going to take so much from it. In terms of resources, I'm going to link a few in the description box below, so different services that you can check out in order to get support if you are in that situation. But without further ado, I'm going to bring you episode number 3 of Tea Money Talks, and you can stay tuned and listen to the conversation that I had with Natalie. Hey, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Your hair is absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you. My wash and go I did yesterday.
Oh my days. Listen, my wash and go cannot go anywhere. No one can see that wash and go. No. I could never. No, your hair is absolutely amazing. I love it. Like, the curls are just, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Listen, yes. I need that hair resume after this live.
Okay, I'll let you know, yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, thank you so much for joining me on tonight's episode. Before we jump into it, it'll be good for you to kind of introduce yourself to the guys, for those that don't know who you are, and tell them a little bit about what you do. Obviously, I spoke a bit about you, but yeah, you can you can talk about yourself in your own words, and yeah,
so
introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalye-Marrie. I'm owner of The Lone Parent, and what I do is I help single mums break hold of debt and create the financial freedom they deserve, using strategies that I use myself. And yeah, some of them are like not conventional because I'm a single mum. So yeah, and they help others. Yeah, so yeah.
No, amazing. No, thanks for the intro. And yes, we've seen quite a few people joining, so thank you all for joining. If you have any questions for Natalie as the live is going, just put it in the questions box so that we don't miss it or it doesn't go missing. Yeah, so we don't skip over it by accident. But yeah, okay, a little bit of an icebreaker. So I usually do the would you rather A or B options. That's what I was doing on the last 2 seasons. Yeah. But this one I thought I'd switch it up because I was running out of ideas of would you rather questions to do.
Oh, you should have asked it because my son does loads of them.
Oh, no way.
I want to send you some stuff.
Oh man, got it. Too late to quickly go and get them. No, so it's a light-hearted one. Actually, there's 2 options that we can do. So the first one is basically just give me one word that describes how you're feeling right now. Just one word. And why?
Excited.
Yeah, they put you on the spot. Yeah, excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And then the next one was 2 truths and 1 lie. So I'll go first with mine to give you a second to think of yours, and then then you can go next. So yeah, 2 truths or 1 lie. Should have thought about this before I said this actually. So okay, 2 truths. I have 2 brothers. I love chocolate and I can sing really well. So what's the one's got to be like, yeah, okay, one's a lie.
The lie is you can sing really well.
You said that too quickly, Natalie.
I've heard you sing at church.
Why are you coming to expose me on Instagram?
It's all right.
I forgot that. Yeah, it's true. I forgot you know me. Oh, never mind. Oh, that is a dream of mine. I wish I could sing like so bad.
In my head, I'm Beyonce. I'm smashing it. Like whenever she comes with a new song, I've already thought of the video in my head.
No, I'm the same. Oh, and you know what? Sometimes it actually sounds good to me, and then as it's like, no, babe, it doesn't sound good at all. So never mind. Unfortunately, yeah. So you got that very easily. Okay, you give me 2 truths and 1 lie now.
2 truths, 1 lie is I used to do ballroom dancing and American Latin. I used to be married to a sugar daddy, and I turned down Johnny Depp.
What? 2 truths are supposed to be in there, yeah? And 1 lie.
Yeah.
Where did you see Johnny Depp?
Which one is the lie? Which
Oh
one?
no, number 2 is a lie. The sugar daddy. When did that happen?
That's the lie.
Yeah. That's actually what.
Yeah. That's the lie. But the two truths is ballroom dancing and Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to tell us the story now. What happened with Johnny Depp?
Okay, so it was years ago, and I was coming from work to pick up my daughter from nursery, and he was dressed as, you know, he did the Caribbean, oh, what's it?
Pirates of
Pirates of the
the
Caribbean. And he was dressed up as his character, and he was trying to get me to pay some money for charity. I said, no, I haven't got time, I've got a train to catch. But I didn't realise it was him until it was in the newspaper the next day.
So
Yeah.
that's actually hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a really cool story. Thanks for sharing.
That's all right.
Okay, cool. Okay, so on to today's topic. Like, yeah, we've done a little bit of icebreaker and we're going to get into it a little bit. So I think before we go into your whole story in terms of, that relationship and that situation, I think it'll be good for the people listening in to kind of find out a little bit more about your story. So just tell us a little bit about Natalie, what Natalie was like growing up, what your relationship was like with money, just in general, growing up and over the years into young adulthood.
Okay, so my childhood was awful. It was wicked. So I've had financial abuse like all of my childhood. So getting with someone who financially abused me was no surprise because I hadn't done any healing. I got with him when I was really young. I was 20, 21. And so what he was doing just reminded me of home. Like, so it felt calm because that's what I'm used to. So money when I was growing up in my home wasn't discussed, and if I asked for anything that was of any monetary value, I was made to feel bad about it. So like growing up, I had my school uniform and one tracksuit, and that was my wardrobe. Like the abuse was all abuse, like sexually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. So me finding out about money was a big deal for me. Going into my adulthood, I used to work in a bank. And so when it came to my payday, like 2 weeks into my pay, my money would just go. So then I had to get another job working in a call center. So I've always had like multiple streams of income, but I never knew how to manage my finances because I was always living like paycheck to paycheck. And so that second job covered me for the last 2 weeks of the month. Like my money went on clothes, food, and going out. Like it was nothing else. Then I had my daughter, and then I started on my like. I don't know if I'm going ahead. Is that okay? Yeah, I think
No, I'm not going to interrupt you. No,
Yeah.
you're in the middle of the flow, so it's
Okay.
fine. I'll go back to my notes and pick up wherever I need to pick up. So no, you
Okay, all right. Yeah, and when I turned 23, I had my daughter, and then I think I was about 24 for my 25th birthday. That's when I started my accountancy career, and I became an accounts assistant. And the finance director, like, I really, he was, at the time, I thought he was a bit like scary and stuff, but I felt, looking back at it now, made me realize how open he was about money. Because what he said to me, he sat me down and talked to me about my pension. Now, I had one, like, when I was working for the bank, but I was just putting a little bit in, like, it wasn't even, you know, like, he really sat down and spoke to me about how important pensions are. And he said to me, you know, you'll put the most you'll ever put in your 20s, then anywhere, because you're going to have other responsibilities to have after then. And so he, paid for by the company, he got me a financial advisor and sat me down and spoke to me about my pension. You know, I opted out of the state pension at 24 years old, you know, because he would predicted these times for me, this financial advisor. My finance director talked to me about investing and my pension, and I just really hit home. Like that time, I opted into the salary sacrifice scheme, pension salary sacrifice at work.
Yeah.
And I just went ham in my pension. However, I still didn't have any of the good money habits. Do you understand? So my money comes out of pension, comes out of salary. I don't have to think about it, right?
Yes,
But
exactly.
everything else I was blowing. But he talked to me about a pension, how important it was, and that always stuck. That always stuck with me, because of what he did for me afterwards. Like, you don't need to. How many people go into companies and getting a financial advisor to talk to you
I
about?
definitely haven't had one.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and he really set the bar high for me, in terms of pensions and investing for my future. So at 24, 25, I've always been putting money towards my pension.
That is absolutely amazing. So you was doing a max contribution,
Yeah,
while he was
yeah,
pensioning as well.
yeah, yeah.
No, that's amazing. Yeah, I was opting out of those pensions from very young. As soon as I could opt out, damn, I opted out because I didn't know better. So that's amazing that you actually had that person to kind of guide you and speak to you about what you was doing. Because I guess up until that point, your understanding of money would have been shaped from your own personal experiences, basically.
Yeah.
So it was like nobody told you, oh, this is money, this is how you budget it, or this is how you spend it, save it. So you kind of just had to figure it out on the job.
Exactly. And I think everyone thought as well that, like, maybe I came for money because I went private school. So, but my mum went through, like, I don't know, unethical ways to put me in private school. Which I won't share on here, but that's how. So everyone just kind of assumed that, you know, I had money or that I knew what to do with money, but I had no idea. I had no idea. Yeah.
No, thanks for sharing that. That's very deep. So then, I guess growing into adulthood, so as a young person, family didn't really give you that guidance or that financial foundation that you would have needed as a young person. And then you've entered into adulthood now. You've got your first job, and you have the financial advisor that tells you invest in pension, etc. So then, at what stage did the relationship that you ended up in, the one that we're going to be discussing, take place? Was that kind of while you were working at that workplace, or was that a little bit earlier or later?
Yeah, that was before. So I was still at that workplace when I was with him.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got with my kid's dad when I was 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we was together on and off, gosh, for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, the financial abuse was like, I paid for everything. We lived together, but I paid the rent, I paid bills, I paid the food shopping, the kids' extracurricular activities. Like, I paid everything. Only time that maybe he would pay was maybe if we went on a night out, but like the family stuff, I was doing everything. And I didn't realise because at the time I was working full time, and I remember Labour was in government, and I had my daughter. They were just giving their money out to like single parents. Like, I just thought I always had money, so I never really thought about it. But I think things started to come when I did get my accountancy job, and I was like doing my exams, my AAT, and he would make comments like, oh, yeah, like, just saying how he'd make more money than me. And that and that my salary was nothing. However, it was paying for everything.
Your salary was paying for everything.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, it was weird, and it's only when I had my son, I realized, when I got pregnant with my son, I realized, like, actually this is not okay. Like, he wasn't able to manage his money. You know, he ran his own business. And I remember one time he made me feel bad, like this emotional abuse where he had hired the wrong builder. He didn't do his due diligence on the builder for the shop, and the builder had just absconded and just went to Jamaica, didn't come back, and took his money and didn't finish the work on the shop. And so he had to hire someone else, and he made me feel bad about it. And so I had to give him my savings that I'd saved for my son, like his pram and stuff, and I had to give it to him for him to pay for the builders. Yeah, it's just all that kind of stuff. Or like, he'd have a house, he'd own it, and it was renting. He'd rent it out to tenants because he was living with me, but he hadn't told the council. So the council was chasing him for council tax. And what he had done was, there was a period where he was living there. What he had done, he told the council he was living at mine. And so I then got into debt because they were saying, well, you owe money now. And I was like, well, why did you tell him he was here? He wasn't here during this period. It was stuff like that. Or, you know, he'd always be in some difficulty and he made me feel bad. So I always have to help him, like getting in debt, open a credit card, getting a loan, like those kind of things. And yeah, it just, for me, those are things that I experienced in my childhood. So it was just
transferred to somebody else, basically.
Yeah, because I've been conditioned to neglect myself and always people please.
Prioritize somebody else.
Yeah.
Wow. So then, oh gosh, it's very deep.
Yeah.
So at what point, I guess, was it? So obviously you've been in this pattern for a while now, and that's been your norm. So when that's your norm, you don't know that is actually abuse at the time. So what was the revelatory? Is that even a word? Revelatory moment, as in, like, what was it that made you think, actually, no, this isn't okay? Was it, did family step in, or friends, or I don't know?
No, because he's a narcissist. So at that time, you've got to remember, this is like 10, 11 years ago now. At that time, people not really woke on the narcissism thing, like as it is now. It's very prominent now. So when I'm telling people, people think I'm crazy. And it actually was one of his clients who then turned into my friend. She saw firsthand what was going on all throughout my pregnancy. And she was like, Nat, this isn't right. The turning point was, I just had my son. And I was having sleepless nights, and not because of I have a newborn baby, but because he had gone missing. He always went missing, like for a day or two. He'd say he's coming home after he's finished work, and I wouldn't see him for a couple of days. He's always going missing, and obviously that would worry me. Like, I'm anxiety. I'm trying to find out where he is. I'm calling him. He's laughing on the phone, and I'm someone who loves my sleep, so that was the breaking point for me. It was like I can't do this. I can't stay up at night waiting for you where you are and take care of a 4-year-old and a newborn baby. Like, something has to give. So I ended it. And actually, the night that I ended it was the best sleep I ever had. Like, both my kids are great sleepers. I've never done sleepless nights with them. So yeah, that was me.
So in terms of the separation, then, was it more the relationship just not working out, and then you realize about the financial abuse later on, when you're looking back in retrospect? That was actual breaking points in the relationship. See what I mean?
Yeah, it was at first when I broke up, I was like, this is not working. You obviously can't be, you can't be what I need you to be for our family. So, and I just thought, you can just focus on being a dad. I didn't realize that this is deep. Like, it's actually a spiritual warfare when you're dealing with a narcissist. And it's only afterwards I realized that he'll do stuff like, he refused to pay maintenance, stuff like that, even to this day. And be controlling, like not turning up for the kids on his day that he's supposed to. And just realizing, wow, like, this isn't normal. Like, then having to go to court, then still experiencing physical abuse, even though I'm no longer with him. So that it made really, once I got outside of the situation, I made me realize, actually, this was never okay. Like, yeah.
That's incredible that you was able to just make that decision for yourself, because I know many women and men as well would just be stuck in that situation, and it usually takes something like crazy to happen for them to kind of finally be able to escape it. So it's so good that you was able to, for yourself, be like, no, I want better for myself and for my children. I'm going to kind of step away from this and break this cycle. And it's so good as well that, well, in fact, I'm rushing ahead of your story. I want you to tell your story yourself. So obviously, once you've now exited that situation, you've still got what's been left after it. So it's like, how did you then transition from obviously being in that financial situation that was created by your ex, and now breaking free from that, and then getting out there, and then your journey beyond that, basically?
Yeah, you know what, it got worse because I've got all this debt, and now I've got a 10-month-old. I'm having to go back to work, and what got me even more debt is I had a court order, an injunction against him, and he had befriended the childminder. And so he was going behind my back against the courts to see the kids at the childminders. and she was letting him, and this is what narcissists do. They create this thing called flying monkeys. They create this whole persona. I couldn't even walk into like my area.
Flying monkeys.
Yeah. So this flight is a term where they basically convince people to believe them. It's the way they do it. It's based on manipulation.
Okay.
And so I couldn't even walk down my area because everyone was turning against me because of him. His clients, everyone, like. And so he'd done it with the childminder, and so I had to choose between the safety of my kids, like my own mental insane, or going to work. And I had to leave my job.
You're gonna have to pick the children, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And so things just spiraled out of control. And I was trying to like set up a business because I've never not worked. Like I've been working since I was 15 years old because I had to. Do you know what I mean? Like because I wasn't, like I was being abused at home. So I had to, and so to not work, but things just spiraled because then I became homeless. And then I had to go in hostel, and that became my home for like 3 years. And that's where my like personal finance journey like started really, because I was just like, okay, yes, I'm in debt because of him, but actually I'm really shit at managing my finances. And yeah, that's kind of where I just took control of my life, really.
That's incredible, to be honest. Because again, like I said, in the same way you were just like, no, let me just exit this relationship. You came to yourself and was like, no, I'm going to do that. And then now you're like, no, I'm going to do this and transform my financial situation. To be able to have that self-will to do it is absolutely incredible, to be honest. Like, because it's not an easy thing to just step out and do. Yes, I love those love hearts that are coming, because please support. Because no, seriously, it's truly inspirational what you're saying. Because yeah, not many people will be able to overcome that situation, number one, and then to achieve debt freedom on top of that, and to do it on your own with 2 young children. Like it's truly amazing, to be honest, and truly inspiring.
Oh, she's gonna make me cry. Stop.
No, please don't, because make me cry back. I ain't trying to mess up my makeups, so let's not do that, okay? Let's not do that. No tears around here. Like, you know me, I literally, it doesn't take much for me to be. You see, like, already I'm going, oh Lord have mercy, not on Instagram live. Natalie, you're not doing this to me on live. Oh Lord have mercy, let me get some water. No, seriously. Oh my, no, Natalie. I'm gonna have to come off camera for a second, guys. Take a moment. Oh my God. Not me crying on the internet. No, that's not my life. Let me take a sip of water. Oh my gosh. No, seriously. We're not doing that. We'll talk afterwards, and then we can have our moment. Yeah. Not on the ground.
No, not on the ground. No.
Oh, okay. So I think a question has just popped up just in time. Hold on, wait. I'm using a new phone, so I can't really. Oh crap! Oh, there we go. Yeah. How do you get to a point to be able to speak about your story without crying?
Oh my God, therapy.
Okay.
Therapy.
Amazing.
My ancestors, my God. Those are the things that got me. But therapy, I started my therapy in 2019. And it completely changed my life. I realized that all this baggage that I was carrying was not mine, they were my parents. And actually, I've only recently got to a point this year where I realized that actually it wasn't even my parents, it was their parents, and so forth. And actually, even this abuse that I've been through, maybe I shouldn't say this, but because it's a bit deep, but actually it's from slavery. And that's why I say I've broken my generational curses, especially with the sexual abuse that I've experienced, from my parent. That's from his dad. That's come from slavery too. And so to know that, so when I think about them, my parents, I get to a place because I feel sorry for them. Because even though I was being abused, I went to private school out of the area in Wimbledon, and I was among people who had, let's say, normal families. Yeah. So that's what I was seeing. Whereas my parents, they're first generation immigrants. Yeah. Because their parents they came over on the Windrush. And so they're here, and actually their circle is people who are experiencing the same as them. Do you understand? So it's kind of like that's all they saw and that's all they knew, and they couldn't do any better. Whereas for me growing up, yes, that is where I came from. But when I came out of that environment, I was in another environment and I was seeing different things. I'm hanging around with people who are like rich, ridiculously rich. They invite me to their houses, we're having dinner, and it made me, it dropped seeds in my mind. So me breaking these things is, I'm just following my heart, because that's also what's been planted in me. So I'm blessed. I actually believe that I am blessed. I am blessed.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. And I was still blessed then, very differently, but I was. Yeah.
That's actually nuts, you know. It's literally like an oxymoron almost. Like you literally had the worst and the best.
Yes.
Time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. And so subconsciously I chose the best. Yeah. Yeah.
No, because when seeing is believing, isn't it? So because you've seen that, okay, there is more than my situation right now. Because I guess a lot of people, like those that grow up in certain environments, like, I don't know, from the ghetto or whatever you want to call it, you don't see it. So it seems unobtainable. Like it just seems so out of reach, so far-fetched. But I guess because you were so close to it, it's just like, oh, actually, no, I've seen both. And I'm going to take this one instead. Even though this might be a lot more work for me to get there, I'm going to go that way because I know that that's where I belong, kind of thing. Whereas, for a lot of people, maybe they haven't been able to see both sides of the coin, kind of thing. So, that is crazy, but incredible at the same time. Like, and it's crazy that it's mad that you actually taken a path that you've taken, because, like you said, you could very easily let your situation define you, or do you know what I mean, let it limit you, or be like, you know, I've been through all of these things that I can't do better. Whereas you're like, no, actually I'm going to take that and I'm going to run with it, and I'm going to not let it cripple me, but I'm going to use that as an inspiration to help other people, which is what you're doing right now, even on this live. Like all the love hearts, I don't usually get this many love hearts on my live. People are really connecting with what you're saying. So you're literally touching the lives of so many through this chat, and just what you're doing in general with the lone parent as well is absolutely incredible. But anyway, like I said, we're not going to get into that too much, so that we don't start again, please. Just managed to calm myself back down. Hold on. Oh no, that was someone trying to join the live. I thought that was a question. It was somebody trying to join. Yeah, no, nobody's joining us. Thanks, just the two of us for this live. So let me go back through the comments actually, because I've not been going through them. So I'm just going to swipe through, see if I've missed out any questions. I think it's just people saying hi. Inspirational. How are you not okay? How are you not crying? How are you not crying? You're not crying because you've done the work.
Yeah. And I'm still continuing to do the work. Like it's never, I don't just wake up and like, okay, I'm done with my trauma. Like I'm still healing. Like healing is ongoing. It's every day. And it's a choice to show up, and I choose to show up. Yeah.
And you're showing up really well.
Yeah, thank you.
With the curls on fleek.
Hey. Eco styler.
It's nice, man. These girls be popping. Absolute inspiration. I agree, Jackie. No, I just butchered your name. Sorry, darling. But yeah, that was absolutely inspirational. Your boys are so blessed to have you. Such an amazing mum. You've got a boy and a girl. But thank you.
Thank you.
Damn, that's so deep. Abuse from slavery. Yeah, that was actually a very, very deep point. You never made that connection. That's actually mad. Yeah. Great to hear you sharing your story with us. Very inspiring. That's from Life and Parenting with Nick. No, appreciate the comments. And again, if you guys have any questions for Natalie, then leave them in the comment section. I've got a few more to go through. But if you guys have any that you want to drop in, please do drop them in before we round up. Okay, let me see what else have I got left on my list. The hair's fabulous. You see, I'm not the only one saying it.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, no, we've moved on from that. Hold on. Got my computer next to me, so I'm just making sure I don't miss out on any of the stuff that I wanted to discuss before we go. Okay, yes. So obviously we've spoken at length about your story and what you've been through and where you are now, which is absolutely incredible. And I guess the next thing that I wanted to touch on is advice for anybody else out there that may be in a financially abusive relationship. And one thing when I was researching actually and prepping for this conversation in terms of financial abuse, like when I think of it, or when I thought of it initially, I just thought it was relationship wise, you know, partner that's financially abusive. But I didn't realize, and you touched on it as well earlier when you said about your parents doing that. I didn't even make that connection with that. With the fact that parents can be financially abusive, or siblings or friends and family, like literally you can experience it from so many different people. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's people that are listening now that maybe are experiencing some kind of financial abuse, whether it's from a partner, a family member, etc. So what kind of advice, or what would you say to anybody that's listening in that needs that advice, or
it's funny you said that, because my ex, not my kid's dad, my last ex, he was financially abused as well by his mum, because she just thought that her kids would grow up and be rich, and so she just took out loads of debt and lost houses and stuff, and he's
in his name,
in her name, but he's the one that having to like pay
it for her,
and like just be that person for the rest of the family, but not really thinking about, actually, you've got so much debt. And so the first thing I would say is that you have to be willing to face yourself, because once you've done that, everything else is really simple. It doesn't actually matter how you leave or escape, because you're just going to do it. You'll find a solution, but you have to actually admit to yourself that there is a problem. Because if you don't, it doesn't matter what I can list 100 of things, and you're not going to want to do it because you don't want to admit that there's a problem. And so firstly, admit that there's a problem. And secondly, if you're in that relationship, let's say if it's like your partner, then, you actually have to leave the relationship. So like things like, because if they're financially abusive, they're usually abusive in all the other areas as well, not just that. So it's like, maybe leaving quietly. So you wait till they've gone to work or wherever they may go, and then you have your team around you, like your support network. They come quickly and you pack your stuff and leave. Or if it's a family member, you just have to just tell them to stop, like by just saying no. Really, that's it. You just say no, and it's weird and uncomfortable at first. But the more you do it, the more freeing you will feel. And then there's organisations, because now they've made it law. They never recognised it before. They've made it part of law in, I think it's like the Abuse Act. I can't remember what act it is, but they've now recognised that there is financial abuse. And so places like Women's Aid, you can go there with your debts, and if you've been coerced and taken them out, then you can get them cleared without having to pay. And it shouldn't affect your credit rating or your credit score. And
that's a recent thing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
No, that's really good to know. Okay. No, that's really, really helpful. Thank you. And yeah, you're right, actually. It is easier said than done, I guess, but it is that accountability, or just being like, actually, no, I'm going to make this decision best for myself. Is that being selfish? Because we're always taught to not be selfish and put other people first, and we put everybody else first above ourselves, and then that's how you end up in those situations like your ex, like you mentioned, and it's like you're financially responsible for your mum, because yes, it's your mum and you love your mum, but she's not your child. And even if she was your child, again, it's still there comes a point where it's like, I need to protect my own peace, kind of thing. And it's
and I always think of the analogy like the airplane. When it's going into problems, they always say, when the masks fall down, you're to put your mask on first before you help anyone else. And that's what you're supposed to do. Is like, selfish is being made into this dirty word, but actually we need to do more of that. Like, I can't fill you up if I haven't filled myself up.
There you go.
Because otherwise we're both just going to be sinking.
That's it. No, that's literally it.
Yeah.
No, that is it. Like, that is it. Like, yes, help if you can help, but if it's to your own detriment, then you're not helping anybody anymore, are you? Kind of thing.
No, exactly.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, like I said, and it is hard, especially when you've been used to a pattern of behavior for so long, and you've been used to doing things a certain way, to now go back and say no to this person that doesn't even ask. They just kind of expect it as their rite of passage. So it's not even a request anymore. It's just like, oh yeah, send me your account details, and it's just like, no, like, no, I'm not doing that. So that first no, like you said, will probably be the hardest one, but boundaries are so important. And it's, yeah, setting those boundaries. And that doesn't mean you don't love that person or anything like that. But at the end of the day, like you said, you can't pour from an empty cup. And yeah, me trying to help you and then I end up killing myself. How's that helping anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, no, totally agree with what you said there. And that's really, really good advice. And I guess services wise that you can signpost people in. So for yourself, obviously, I think I heard on your live actually you spoke about, was it Christian?
Yeah, so
Help?
CAP, Christian Against Poverty.
Yeah.
So they do like they do a course. I'm not sure if they're still doing it now because it was so many years ago that I went. But I was so much in debt, like, you know, when you just don't have any money, I'm on benefits, and and I'm in a hostel as well. Do you know what I mean? So they did a thing where they did this like Christian Against Poverty. It was a course, and it taught you how to budget, you know, even how to create sinking funds. I never called it sinking funds, but it was just like, you know, every time you get paid, you put a little bit of money towards this and that emergency fund, how to budget, and it was just really basic, but that really helped me because then I went on to find like other books like Dave Ramsey. I know there's a bit of a thing about Dave Ramsey at the moment, but I just think, you know, but I just think with everything, like you need to take what's yours and dash the rest away.
Take the meat and spit out the bones.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it doesn't resonate, keep it moving. But some of it resonated with me, even like the where he said put the emergency fund. I wasn't going to put £1,000 in it. I didn't need to put £1,000 because I was in a hostel. Like, all my expenses were taken care of.
£1,000 would have been like £1 million at the time.
So I made sure that I had about £500, and that took me a long time to make. Like, but it was I had a car, so it was like, you know, my car was my everything during that time. So it was like, you know, if anything happened with the car, I know £500 would be able to sort it. But yeah, and then I just went on my debts. But yeah, those like Christians Against Poverty, Women's Aid. I did write some stuff down as well. There's other ones, like it depends on like where you live, but there's like my friend told me it's Athena in Lewisham, and they help with like women in like domestic abuses and financial abuse. Then there's one called Solace in Southwark.
Okay.
And they do the same thing as well. I'm not sure about like any other boroughs, but I know if you go to Women's Aid, they will probably signpost you.
Yeah. No, amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, you mentioned a few of the ones I had on my list. There was another one here. I've got Surviving Economic Abuse org. So C, the acronym for it was SEA. So that one on their website, they've got quite a lot of information on there. So yeah, there is resources out there. And I guess after this live, it would be good if you could just drop them in my DM it to me, or even just put it straight in the comment section of the video, because I was just going to say send it to me and I'll put it in the comments, but you can just do it directly.
No problem.
Kind of signpost people to places that they can go for help. And I guess the last question actually that I've got on my list, in case you guys have any more, like I said, you can ask Natalie a couple of questions now, or just slide in their DMs after the live. I'm sure you'd be happy to take those DMs. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm just sending them there. They're like, no, don't DM me. No, but the last question is obviously moving forward now, it's been a while actually. How long has it been since you've overcome that situation and paid off your debts and started on this journey that you're on now?
Wow. Okay, so if you know anything about narcissism, I'm still in this situation.
Like, yeah, of course, because your children.
Children. He will stalk my business page. He will send me emails about what I'm saying on my business page. He finally made a comment stupidly, so I was able to block him and any other accounts. I
love that new Instagram feature. That you can block them and anything.
Anything I'm making like 10 years time.
They should have done that ages ago.
So there was that, because it's intimidating, it's threatening, it's like, so I forgot what was the question again, Tolu? Sorry, I just went off on a tangent.
Oh Lord, I've even lost the question myself. Oh no, I was asking you what's next week. Gosh, so bad. I hope I got off script as well. I was asking in terms of I was asking how long it had been actually. I was asking how long
so
that situation finished.
God, so I became debt free in 2017, 2018.
Right, so a few years now.
So I became debt free in 2018. Should I say I got rid of him probably back in 2020, so only last year.
Oh no way.
And even then, like even this year, I had to go to court because he wants to take me to court about seeing the kids. And so it's still ongoing, but what I've managed to do over time is to do no contact. He doesn't have my number. He can only contact me by emails, and I don't respond to emails. He'll send me this long paragraph of abuse, and I'll just put okay. Yeah. So I'm still going through it, but it's a lot more manageable because I have my boundaries now. I'm no longer scared. That's another thing as well. And he can no longer control me, because before, where I was so adamant, like I was so reliant on his maintenance, and he'd use that to control me, where now it's like, okay, you're not paying, but I don't actually need you financially. Like, me and my kids are great. Good. Yeah, like I remember, like the other day, my son, he has an attachment to clothes and shoes, and his trainers got holes in, and he didn't want to he didn't want to get new trainers. I was like, we need to get new trainers.
Oh, he didn't want new.
No, he didn't want to get new. There's holes, like this big.
But he loves
holes.
them.
Yeah, and what he did was, yeah. So I went. It took us like a couple of weeks before I could get him to convince, and another couple of weeks before I actually found him. Yeah, to go and get him some. So about a month. We went and got him trainers, and I just had this like strange, like, I don't know, sense of gratitude, because I remembering like back like 2013, 14, I was in a hostel and my kids needed shoes and I couldn't afford them. To now I was able to get him a pair of Jordans. And just pay it with my eyes closed. Do you know what I mean? And I thought to myself, like, even though I still have to work, but I'm doing something that I enjoy, I feel like this is financial freedom for me. Like, I'm not relying on anyone. You know, I've got my little investments that I'm doing. You know, I'm still supporting my children. We're home editing. I outsource all of their education. It's like their private schooling. And so, like, I feel I'm in a place where I'm just like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
That is amazing. That's absolutely amazing. You're gonna set me off again. No, it's so lovely to hear. Like, wow. And I guess it's just a story of hope and encouragement, isn't it? And that's what I really wanted to get you on, because your story isn't over, kind of thing. It's like, yes, you've been in such a dark place, but look at where you are now.
Exactly.
It's amazing. It just goes to show there is light at the end of the tunnel, and like you said, it's still a journey. You haven't arrived at the destination, but you're enjoying the journey right now. It's amazing.
I think it's important for single moms as well, particularly to like not listen to what society tells us we should be, or to not carry the burdens of what they put on us. You really need to like really believe in yourself, really need to love yourself, and to do things that are unconventional. And that's how I've got to where I've got to, because I can't do things that not a normal person, but a person who doesn't have children or maybe married with kids. I can't live that life. Financially, should I say? I can't go about the ways they do. I have to do it in another way. But it works, and I'm happy about it. And it's just me naturally. I'm always going against the grain anyway. So
no, definitely. And that's just reminding me actually of something that you said on one of your lives. Yes, I do just listen to all your lives. I'm a stalker, but there was one of your lives that I was listening to where you was talking about your debt journey. Actually, we haven't touched on it here, but it'd be good to share how you were able to kind of increase your income within a space of, I think it was 2 years. You were saying you got like 4 pay rises. Just to share that, because I thought it was so interesting and so remarkable, really, because like what you just said about you being unorthodox and just doing things a different way. Because when I was on my debt-free journey, I was just following what Dave Ramsey was saying about get different streams of income and get all this extra money, and I didn't even think that there was another way to kind of increase my income without getting all those extra side hustles. So just tell us a bit about how you were able to do it, just in case that can again speak to somebody that's on this live that's thinking, I don't have time to be taking on a second, third, fourth job. Do you know what I mean? So
Exactly. So how I did it was I went back to work. After my son started nursery, I then said, I'm going back to work. So I went back to work full time. And what I did was I had a plan in place. So I had a CV. And these are things that I hate doing mundane stuff. I know what I want to do. I just want to go in and do the job. So I hired someone to do my CV for me. And then I sent it out. My first job I ever got was at The Guardian. and it was perfect.
Oh, wow.
I feel like God had, because I said I wanted a job just for the first year for my son, either doing like 9 till 1 or 10 till 2, Monday to Friday. And that's
one. Oh, wow.
And it came. The first job I applied for, that was the job.
Those were the hours.
Yeah, for the Guardian and the finance department, 9 to 1, 10 or 10 to 2. I was like, so it meant I could drop my kids off and pick them up. I was like, okay, I'm good. It was a nice wage. I was good. Then after my son went to reception, I said, okay, he's cool now. He's comfortable. That means I can do breakfast club. He can do breakfast club and after school club. So then I went really full time. I got another job for this PR company. They don't like to be PR in Holborn, and I was making like £800 a week. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I was doing it. I was doing I was coming in as a consultant, not to work for myself, but invoicing them.
Yes.
So that's what I was doing. And what you hear is like the old heads saying, well, you need to stay for a couple of years. It looks really bad on your CV. And when I spoke to, and this is the thing, you need to kind of befriend, for me, I befriended a recruitment consultant. And they just kind of give me the ins and outs. You know, on a first-line basis, we've got each other's mobile numbers. I'm messaging like Johnny, like, what do you think about this? And he'd be like, yeah, man, just do it. Like, there's no problem. Like, this, like, just give this reason as to why you're leaving, and that's it all in your interviews. And so that's what I did. Like, every year, I was like, if you're not going to hire me to increase my pay rise, I'll go somewhere else. And somewhere else was always willing because I had the experience. And it just meant that as soon as I got there, once I gave myself like 6 months to really get my teeth into the role, then I'd start asking for like extra work just to bump up my skills, so that then I could either ask them for a pay rise or go somewhere else and demand. And that served me all up until last year. Well, actually, probably like the last, I don't know, 4 years where I've not had to have an interview. I've just been headhunted through LinkedIn.
That's it.
And then like last year I got headhunted and I got an almost 6-figure salary. So yeah, it works on one income. Yeah. Yeah, it does work. And so the little bits that I do here and there, like for building a second income, is not so stressful. Like, I'm not totally reliant on it. Yeah.
No, it's amazing. So the moral of the story is that you added value to yourself while you was there at the job. So you went there, you're like, what can I do to level up? What can I do to next pay grade? And then told them, okay, I need to get this money now because I can do all of this. And if they say no, okay, cool, I'm going to go there where they're going to give it to me.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And it never affected my CV in a negative way. Never. It never did. Yeah.
No, amazing. No, because you've proved your worth. You proved that you do the job and do a really good job. So no, that's absolutely amazing. I'm just going back through the comments, sorry, because thank you. What's the name that did that?
Creative Shack.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Creative Shack. Hey,
that was very creative. Gosh, I didn't read it. Yeah. Thanks, Creative Shack. Thank you for sending those links. Amazing. And then Life and Parenting with Nick said you could seek an NMO, so he can't contact you at all. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't. NMO.
No.
I'm gonna write that down.
Write it down, yeah.
Yeah.
Quick Google search. Yeah, and Creative Shack said you are such a model example of strength and surviving domestic abuse. 100%. I co-sign that.
Thank you.
And then Creative's last thing she said, making links and connections is so important. No, I totally agree with that. It is so important. Don't burn no bridges and make good connections. Yeah, that burning bridges thing is a real thing because you just don't know where you're going to see people again.
Exactly, yeah.
Which people know. Because even look, when was the last time we saw each other? You just never know. Imagine we fell out all those years ago. I couldn't be asking you to come on my show, could I?
Yeah.
You'd be like, no. Oh, now you want to have me on your show, do you? Yeah. No, so yeah, no, it's so important. Okay. And non-molestation order. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, there was something I was gonna say. Yeah, so this is off script, to be honest, but it's just because I don't want to let you go yet. I'm really enjoying our conversation. Just trying to keep as long as I can. But no, I guess maybe I probably know the answer, but I'm gonna ask anyway. But in terms of how do you do it? Like, how are you able to do it all? Like, obviously you've got 2 children, then they're not even young anymore. Like, well, they're young, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, but they're big kids now, kind of thing. And you're homeschooling them as well, running a business, and just doing life. Like, how do you do it all? How do you get the motivation? And what practical advice can you give to people listening in?
Okay, well, motivation only lasts so far, right? So this week, I don't know if you believe it, but retrograde, so this week's retrograde, new moon in Libra, so I've been feeling lethargic. And so, but usually I get up at like 5, half 4, 5 in the morning. And
snap, I'm starting that now. It's good.
It is good, right? Yeah. And I work out 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I do that as part of my morning routine when I get up.
Wow.
And then part of my morning routine is meditation and journaling and manifestation. But the journaling and the meditation is really helpful in regards to, it's about me making time for me in the morning when no one else is up. Yeah, and it's just me checking in with self. And then I'm at my desk usually at 7:30 in the morning working. And I'll do that from 7:30 till midday. I'm working. And then after midday, the kids and I said to the kids, okay, what class are you doing today? And then I'm with them for the day. And then in the evening, then sometimes I'll teach a class. It depends on what day it is. But in the evening, I really just chill out. Like, we eat and then I chill. Like, I try not to do anything too much. Then on the weekends, the kids know, don't disturb me on a Saturday, because I'm not, like, I'm in my room. That's me time.
Oh, not even working. You're like, that's mummy's time.
Yeah, that's mummy's time. Get my break. And they know that. But because my daughter's 14 and my son is 10, so they know how to cook for themselves. I make sure there's food in the fridge, so they're not really disturbing me. And then Sundays is family day. So we'll do something together, and then I'll prep for the week. But that's kind of how I do it all. I try and keep it minimal, because you can't do it all. Yeah, and I don't get upset about stuff like me not being able to do certain stuff, like, I don't know, like posting social media every day. I hate batching. I hate it. I don't know why. I can't. Maybe I've got ADHD or something, but I just can't do it. So it's like, okay, I'll just post 2-3 times
when you can.
Yeah, like 2-3 times a day. And I see other people doing it, but I just have to remember the promise that's been made to me by, God and my ancestors, and like, I'm just doing it my way. That's what I'm saying. I'm not conventional. Do you understand? Like, I'm gonna smash it anyway. I'm gonna do my 100%. And it's easy for someone to be doing that and talking about things when they haven't got any kids, or they haven't got a family, or they're a man, so their wife takes care of it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
totally,
it's very easy for that chat. So I just do me, and I do it in my way. And I can only put in between 3 to 5 hours Monday to Friday of work. That's all I can do. And the weekend is my time. Yeah.
I actually love that. Gosh, that was a message for me, because balance is something I struggle with all my days. You can't just work yourself to death. And no, I love that balance. So and you know what? Exactly what you said. Yeah, it's so funny, because I'm gonna go and speak to Isaac after this. He's gonna be like, I'm sure I've been saying this to you for the past. I've been saying this to you for the past month, like, but now Natalie said it. Now you're gonna do it. But literally, what you just said is literally what he's been saying about, like, you can't do it all. So just don't beat yourself up when you can't do it. Just do what you can, and that's it. So like what you just said, you could do 3 to 5 hours a week of work, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's what you could do. Commit to it and do it and be happy with that. But me, it's like, no, I've done 7 hours. It's not enough. I need to do 9. And it's like,
like who are you competing with? Like, I know there's people that's like working 12 hours, and that's why I left my job, even though I was paying my 6 figures.
Yeah,
they were giving me this money so I can work 12 hours a day. And so I said, do you know what? I've got a year's worth of money in my emergency fund. I'm bouncing. I'm gone. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm done. I'm gonna work out something myself. I'm gonna do this business thing, but I have to because I'm homeschooling 2 children as well. Like even though I outsource all of their education because I'm not an educator and I can't do it myself. Like it has to, in a couple of weeks I'm gonna hire a cleaner. Then next year I'm gonna hire a chef, so I'm not cooking. Outsourcing is the way forward. Like I'm not. I wanna do what I enjoy, which is teaching mums, and I wanna live happily, and I wanna take care of my children, and I want them to see that you can do something you enjoy and not have to work yourself to the bone.
Yes.
So I think I think it's not realistic long term. And I think if your action matches your intention, doesn't matter how small it is, God, universe is always gonna come through for you.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, that was perfect. That was actually perfect. Thank you. It's very good advice. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take note of that. I need to just relax a bit and just not overwork myself because it's true. Like life is too short. Balance is important. And I like what you said about the example to the children because it's true. You want them to know that you can work for what you want, but not that you should now kill yourself trying to work.
Yes.
Moderation. Yeah. You can design the life you want and do it in a balanced way. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Absolutely incredible. No, Natalie, this has been so good. I could literally keep you on here for another hour, but it's late. I know you need to go wrap that hair up and get ready.
No, you see, I don't wrap hair either.
Oh, stop this now.
No.
You just wake up like this, don't you?
Yeah, like I put a satin pillowcase on.
Okay.
And I just go to bed. Then in the shower, it steams. And I just shake my hair out. I haven't got time. And I told you I want to enjoy my life.
Oh my God. No, that's not fair. My one, yeah. I think I'm going to get locks anyway. That's what I'm toying with. Like, I think I'm just going to lock my hair. Yeah.
Okay.
Just that it's the commitment, isn't it? I know that it's final. Once I do it, there's no turning back. So that's why I'm still 50-50. But I think I'm going to end up doing that because, my hair doesn't do what yours does. Mine is just a lot of work. I don't have the time for it or the patience. Yeah, so okay, cool. I think I've gone through all the comments. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you. Those of you that just joined, we're wrapping up now. You can catch the replay, but thanks for joining us. But yeah, Natalie, it's been amazing. I guess before you go, any last... No, you didn't even tell us about the lone parent. Sorry, before we go.
Oh, okay.
Tell the guys a little bit about what you do and then
Okay, so the lone parent is I help single moms break hold of debt and create the financial freedom they deserve. At the moment, I'm designing a program which should be launching in a couple of weeks, and it's a group coaching. Won't go too much into it, but that's what I'm here. I'm a money coach. And I just teach single mums how to reach their financial freedom, whatever that looks like for them.
I love that bit at the end, exactly, because there's no one size fits all.
No, there isn't.
It's whatever looks good for you and works for you and your own your goals. So no, totally co-sign that. Natalie, you have been incredible. It's been so good, and we both managed to keep our makeup intact, which is fantastic. So it's been brilliant.
Thank you so much for having me, Tolu. Really enjoyed it.
No, it's been great. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be back same time next week with another amazing guest. Natalie, you've been amazing. I've really enjoyed this chat. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys again soon. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your... Oh, is it only for single mums? I'm guessing no. Or is it?
Yeah, it's all well, it's that.
That's the goal.
Mums, but I do mothers who are married and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, the lone parent.
Don't discriminate. Yeah, no,
don't discriminate.
Cool. All right. That's it for today. And I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for coming on, Natalie. It's been amazing. Take care. Bye, guys.